What is better, of the old Act 2 Bogdan replay glitch, which has been around since the Doomsday DLC first came out, or the newer Casino Heist, which came out in December? Which one is better to do for a replay glitch? I have crunched the numbers and done the math, and by the end of this video you will know what is best to do and why you should choose this one. Hello everyone, my name is Alkaline Expert. What's going on everybody? Recently, when I was scrolling down the looking for group section on my Xbox, I keep seeing people asking for Bogdan back to back, as well as a minority of people asking for the Casino Heist replay glitch. So which one is better? Does Bogdan give you more money? Is it easier to do? Is that why people do it? Or is the Casino Heist better, with more profit? I will jump straight into it and give you the pros and cons, to give you the numbers on what you should do. As always, the host won't receive any money as they are doing the replay glitch, because when you do the replay glitch, you close the game before it is finished, so the host game won't register the heist as completed, but the crew members, they will still get paid. Therefore, the host should get as little cut as possible, as the host and crew members will host one time each, or back to back as most people refer to it. Therefore, give your crew members an 85% cut in total. So let us start by the older Doomsday Heist Act 2, or Bogdan for short. So the most important thing about doing a replay glitch is to make money, of course. So let's start with that. Bogdan always pays 1 million plus an elite challenge of 50k, which equals to a total of 1,059,380 GTA dollars. And this is on an 85% cut on hard difficulty. I see no reason of doing a replay glitch on normal difficulty, as that gives you less money. So the pros for the Bogdan is it is very easy to do. There is not a lot of steps involved here, and if you do it one time, you will usually get the hang of it the second time. And you can also go in guns blazing. So if you prefer just going in, shooting everything, pretty simple, then this is the one for you. It is very easy to set up. You just have to own a facility and complete the Act 1. And then you can start by doing the setups and preps for the Act 2. It just requires one guy to really pay attention. This is the guy who goes into the submarine. The other guy, he will just wait in the boat, and he doesn't really need to pay any attention to what's going on around him before he has to drive the boat back with the other player to the Avenger. The cons for the Bogdan is if you don't like going in guns blazing, this is a con for you, because people have preferences, and guns blazing, if you don't like it, that's a con. So it is also very hard preps and setups. Some preps require you to steal 4 vehicles, and if you're just a solo player trying to set it up, this is going to be a little hard for you. And also, when you do the setups, it always requires you to be at least 2 players to do the setups. And the setups are also very hard to do, and you usually need to do several tries or eat a lot of snacks if you don't know how to do it. And this is really hard for a new player in the game because of the hard setups. When you start up the heist, when you spawn into the facility, you must also wait for Lester to call you, which means there is a delay of maybe 1 or 2 or 3 minutes every time you want to start it up when you start a new session. It also pays less actually than the Casino Heist. I will come back to this later with the payouts. There are also 2 long and boring cutscenes. We have the middle cutscene, which counts towards the heist time, and we also have the end scene after the heist is finished, and these 2 cutscenes takes way too long for me to watch them and wait around. So I think this is pretty boring, but of course if you are doing something else, maybe you're reading a book or something while you do the replay glitch, so maybe that's for you then, if you just want to do some really passive income while the other guy does everything. When you do the back-to-back, the host, he will spawn at the LSIA airport. This means you have to wait for Lester to send you a message so you can spawn in your facility, or drive all the way back to your facility, which will usually be in the Paleto Bay if you're doing a really hard Act 2 grind. I also think another con is that the Bogdan is not very forgiving. If the other player dies of some reason during the cutscene, you have to watch all the cutscene all over again. And I don't know how you can die during the cutscene, but some people apparently do. So I will say this is a con, as you have to watch the cutscene all over again if you die before you reach the Avenger. Moving on to the Casino Heist's payouts. There are a lot of different ways the payouts can be, but if you're 2 people, the actual take, of course you will do the gold duplication glitch when you do the Casino Heist replay glitch, as this gives you the most money every time. Because if you duplicate gold, you can get a whopping maximum total take of 3,662,500 GTA dollars. Of course, you can grab more, but there is a limit decided by Rockstar on this heist of 3,662,500. So if you go anything above this, it won't count towards your payout in the end. But if you get more, this will serve as a cushion in case you take any damage from the cops. You all guys probably know this by now, but I will just say this anyway. So the actual total take, that can be from 2,843,500 to 3,662,500. The reason for the lowest limit is because that's what 4 trays of gold equals to. So if you duplicate 4 trays in the vault, that is the lowest amount of trays I usually get when I do the casino heist. Of course, usually I get like 5 trays, but the lowest amount I've managed to get is 2 trays that's in the open vault and 2 trays that are behind locked doors, which you can open by hacking 1 door. After you have gotten your total take, which I said is around 2.8 to 3.66, then you have to pay your crew, and then you have to give an 85% cut to your crewmates. So with the cheapest crew with a 9% hacker, so to calculate how much your crewmates will be getting, we need to have the total take and time that by the crew cuts. So to find out how much the other players gets after the heist, we will have to calculate it by using maths. I know this is hard for you, but don't worry, I have done the maths for you, so we just need to look at these numbers. We have the total take, and then we have to time that by 1 minus the crew costs. To say how much the crew cost is, you have to take the potential take, as I said, and time that by 1 minus the crew cut. And this is the crew cut, that will be 5% for Lester, 5% for the gunman, and 5% for the driver. And then we have the 9% for the hacker. That's why we add the 9%. And then we have to time that by the cut shared by the known hosts, as this will equal to potential cut times 64.6% equals to the potential cut times the 1 minus total crew cut and players cuts, which equals to actual money received at the end of the heist. So this means if you get the lowest amount of trays, which is 4 duplicated gold trays, and grab all of those, you will get 2.8435 million. And if you times that by the actual take percentage, which was 64.6%, that will equals to 1,836,901. And this is a whopping 73.4% more than the Bogdan pays out. And if we somehow manage to get the maximum amount of total take, which is 3,662,500, and you time that by the actual take percentage, which is 64 times 6%, this will equal to an amazing 2,365,975, which is 123.3% more than the Bogdan pays out. Just if you're wondering how much artwork on hard pays you, this is the same as if you have gold on easy as the potential take. This is 2,585,000, and you time that by the actual take percentage, you get 1,669,901. And this is just 57% more than the Bogdan heist. You will have to do 1.5 Bogdan heists to do 1 artwork heist, basically. And by the way, these numbers are without the 50k elite challenge you usually get when you do the big con. So fun fact, to make 2 Bogdan finales, you need 3,279,814 as your total take with this crew though. Just remember, if you see the total take go above 3,279,814, this means you will have made 2 Bogdan finales in just 1 heist. And as they both take around the same time, this is a really good pro for the casino heist. And the percentages, they are calculated with the assumption you get the elite challenge on the Bogdan finale, which means you didn't die during it. That means the percentages can only be higher if you don't get the elite challenge on Bogdan. So the lowest gold, that percentage will go from 73.4% to 82%. And the highest gold will go from 123.3% to 134.4%. And these are without the elite challenge on Bigcon. So if you get the elite challenge, you can add almost 5% extra to those percentages, which means the highest payout will be 139.3%. If you didn't know, an extra teammate usually guarantees you to always go over the maximum limit. However, as you know, the more chefs you have, the more spill you will get. So therefore, communication is key to get above the limit. I would recommend sending 1 guy to the middle to grab everything that's in the open without hacking any doors. So he will do the duplication glitch on those trays. And your second guy, he will be your main hacker, and he will go through the right door. Because statistically, from my experience, the right door always has at least 1 or 2 trays behind it. And if you have a third guy, he also needs to know how to hack. So send him to the front. If the first door is closed, he will have to hack that and then go to the front left room, where there always will be 1 tray. If the first door is open, he will have to hack that door at the right, at the front right. And here usually E and F will spawn in. And as I said, the front door in this scenario will be open, so that means the front left tray also is open. So that means the guy in the middle can grab that tray. And the third guy, who opens the front right door, he will get E and F usually, or a single ladder, if that's the case of that spawn. But you should never be 4 people and send one guy to the left to hack that door. So let's move on to the pros of the casino heist. As you can see from the numbers I just crunched for you, we have a way bigger payout, 123% more than the Bogdan pays you. That means if the Bogdan was 100%, the casino heist will be 234%. And another big pro is when you set it up, you can prep solo. However, it takes more time to prep solo. And it's also much faster to do the preps. There are around the same preps as the Bogdan, or the same amount of preps and setups as the Bogdan, but these preps just takes around 5 to 10 minutes each. Some even takes less, and therefore I would say that's a big pro, as the casinos can be prepped way faster when you want to set it up. And the preps are also way easier to do. And as well, a big pro is when you do the replay glitch, you can start the heist instantly when you spawn in your arcade. So you can spawn basically right next to it, and you can go and start it up right away when you spawn into GTA. And there's also just one 5%. And there's also just one 5-second cutscene when the news spawns in when you exit the casino. And the heist is very forgiving. If you fail, you have checkpoints. And if it goes loud, you can kill guards and just shoot your way out if you have to. And that's a big pro for me. As well as when you finish a heist, your teammate who will go next, he will spawn in his arcade if the host closed his game. So that means you can go back to back really fast instead of the Bogdan, where you have to drive all the way back to your facility, which can be all the way in Paleto Bay. And you spawn in LSA on the Bogdan, don't forget. But in the arcade, when you do the casino, you will spawn in your own arcade and you can start it up right away. Moving on to the cons, you need to have gold and hard difficulty to set it up correctly for maximum profits. And that means it's harder to set up correctly and it requires more time to set it up. But once you got it correctly, you can have it forever and you can just keep doing it. And once you have gotten gold, I would say it takes around 1 hour to prep completely with 2 players, or a little more with 1 player. But this is still way faster than the Bogdan takes. And when you do the heist, another con here is it requires more skill to do. You need to hack the fingerprint scanner, or you just need to have 1 player who can hack the fingerprint scanner. And this is really easy to practice, I would say, but I will list it as a con as it requires more skill to do with the hacking, and then you have to sneak your way out if you want to sneak. You have to take out some guards stealthily, and then you have to sneak your way out away from the guards to your getaway cars, and then take the chopper. So I would say it requires more skill to do this, and therefore it is a con. And you also have more steps to do, as I said, with the chopper, with duplicating the goal and sneaking your way out. And therefore I will also list a con for that, and I will also list a con because it's more advanced than the Bogdan. It's more difficult, and most players who don't have a big IQ, they don't get that, and therefore they just do Bogdan. Shots fired. Another big con is if you didn't get above the maximum take limit, as I mentioned earlier, you will lose money if you take damage. So that means if you fall off the fence, or if someone shoots you, you will lose money. Another con here is it sometimes takes over 15 minutes to do the heist, but usually it takes less once you get a hang of it. But I will list it as a con, as it sometimes takes more than 15 minutes and you want to get the elite challenge, and this means that on average it may take a little more time than Bogdan. Therefore I will give it a con here. As you probably remembered, I gave it the Bogdan a pro for being faster than the arcade. Like if you get the hang of the casino heist, then it's usually like around 12 to 13 minutes. But of course this depends on the layout in the vault and where the getaway route is, if you have to go all the way to Paleto Bay, or if you can just fly to the beach in Fort Zancudo. So let's move on to comparing the two. I have mentioned some comparing this earlier, but I will go through all of the different points I have noted to myself here on what makes a good replay heist. So we have the casino and Bogdan. They both take around the same time to do, and you can spawn directly in your finale business when you spawn into the game. However, on Bogdan, you must wait for Lester to call you before you can start it up when starting a new session. Also, it is farther to run inside your facility to the finale board than it is in the arcade. So therefore, I will give a point to the casino heist for speed of starting up the finale. The casino heist needs more specific setups. You have to get gold and big con on hard difficulty, as I said, whereas on Bogdan, do not require that. You can just do Act 1 and then set up the Act 2 for replay glitching. So this means Bogdan is kind of easier to set up, so I will give a point to Bogdan for ease of activating the heist itself. And the preps for the casino, they are fast and simple to do, each taking around 5 minutes to do, as long as you don't have to go all the way to Paleto Bay and get a slow car and drive it back to the arcade. So each setup, it takes around 50 minutes on the Bogdan with driving and shooting and then driving back to your facility. So they take at least 15 minutes, some even takes more. So here I will give a point to the casino heist for speed and ease of doing setups and preps. Now let's move on to how easy it is to do the heist. So both heists has 2 to 4 players. They both take under 15 minutes to do. The Bogdan is pretty simple to do. Just kill a bunch of guards, take a photo, drive to the Avenger and fly away. The casino on the other hand is far more complicated to do, with duplicating the gold, hacking fingerprints, sneaking away, climbing to the chopper, and losing the cops on your way to the buyer. However, to simplify your heist, I have a guide for it. It is a link in the description, but however, I would say Bogdan takes a point for ease of doing the heist. However, once you get the hang of it, your second time or your third time, you will usually know what to do. So I wouldn't really say this counts so much, but for your first time of doing it, I would say the Bogdan takes the points. And let's move on to the payouts. This is the main point, I would say. So, but as mentioned above, the casino heist, it pays more. I have already told you how much, so the casino heist, it takes a big point here. This is maybe the heaviest point, as I said, as the payment per hour comes in here. So each heist takes around the same time to complete. Maybe Bogdan is a little faster. However, you have longer cutscenes and you have to wait for Lester to message you before you can start up the heist again after you completed it. So therefore, I would say the casino takes 2 points for payout and for speed in the heist. And after the heist when you have to restart it. So in the end, it all comes down to personal preference, I would say. I would recommend doing the casino heist because once it is set up correctly, and it gives you way more than the Bogdan heist. And I would say the casino heist is funnier to do and more interesting. And once you get the hang of it, you can do it pretty quick and easy. Sorry if this video was a bit long, guys. I just wanted to get out all of my points here and stop all of you from doing Bogdan ever again as the replay glitch. So if you see a friend or someone else who still tries to do Bogdan, share this video with them so they will do the casino heist with you instead, and you can make, as I said, 123% more each time you do the heist. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to support me and have me make more videos for you, don't forget to smash the like button and press the subscribe button so you support me and this video will get tons of views so people will stop doing Bogdan. Because why are people doing Bogdan after all of this effort I made into making this video? Why will you do Bogdan? Sorry about that. There is no point of doing Bogdan. Enough said. But I want to thank you all for watching my entire video. I hope you did at least. At least I hope you got some of the main points from it. And as always, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. By the way, if you want to join me for a live stream, don't forget to hit the bell as well so we can join right in when I'm doing a live stream.